Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my room. We have been talking about 7 simple ways that we could do every day to make that day stress free. These are all not pills or any maneuvers, just a change of attitudes, things like that. I have enumerated them in the past few days, uh, but I will tell them what we have covered so far. I was talking about being in the present as the number one, and cultivating deep breathing, number two, and number three is don't react too much, and number four is to be silent daily, either in the morning or in the evening, and cultivate trying to be silent unless it is needed. And then number five is to be randomly kind to somebody. Number six, to be grateful for what we have, celebrate what we have. And then number seven is just be positive. And seven is always doing things for others. So, this formula, if you closely observe them, none of them need anybody else for us to do. We can do it ourselves, right? Even the kindness, you don't have to really select anybody. Just see somebody else's need and go and be kind, even if you cannot do something, some situation, some worry, some upset, some hurt, something you detect, just be there for them, even without saying anything, or just give a smile or something like that. So, all these are something we can do on a daily basis. We can certainly be in the present. We can certainly cultivate the deep breathing habit, which is actually very good. I was listening to somebody today telling about elephant and a whale and the breathing connection. They were talking about how slow the elephant breathes, and that's why it lives for a long time. And the whale also, it comes once in a while to take a breath out, right? That's like every 10 days it comes up, I believe. So deep breathing is connected with the longevity of life and also quietness of the mind and all that. Okay. And if you take reacting versus responding, that's what I enumerated on the day three, about how we could be less reactive and more responding to things. You can take responsibility for something, but you don't have mental turmoil. That's what it is. It comes with practice, right? And then nobody can give a pill or anything for you to stop the reacting, but they can not do anything unless you want to really observe what's going on, why I'm reacting this so much. Then you will be able to stop that. Okay. And then we talked about early morning and just before going sleep. If you cultivate trying to be silent and go to bed, that would be wonderful for you as you wake up and do that. Okay. And then we will come to this fifth one, which I talked about, is to be kind in a random way. You don't know the person is a random person, but you have the feeling that this is a human being needing some kind of kindness, a little bit of it, not a lot of it. Somebody is struggling to get up, go and help them get up. Somebody struggling to cross the road, go and make them cross the road. That kind of thing. Um, there will be so many people reaching out for some help. So if you can be kind and do it, not being haughty or egotistical, but more like okay, this human being or this animal, this plant needs our kindness. Just exercise that, and the more you develop kindness within you, the more kindness will grow within you, and it is a empowering thing for you. And also, in scientific terms, if you want to talk about it, people who are very kind, they have very good happy hormones within them. This is a fact. Okay, you can check it out. Okay. And then how do you want to be kind? Not deliberately, but cultivate that feeling that we are all in one energy, are interconnected, or we are all kind of one space. That kind of thing that comes from ancients actually. They identified that we are all interconnected, right? And that way we are all the same soul, and they call it the big self, but we may differ with having this smaller personality, smaller self. So every day morning you get up and remember that, then you have no problem showing kindness or consideration or warmth or friendship to anybody, even if they are not your own kith and kin or your own family. You can be kind to anybody. And the more you have cultivated this, it's not that you become weak, but you have to have strength to do the kindness thing, right? I think you all know what I'm talking about. So really deliberately doing it kind of breeds us the habit down the line. You don't do it because you are expecting some praise. You don't do it because you are expecting something in return, like a transaction. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a feeling that you have within, and then you reach out for somebody who is in pain or who is in need of anything. You extend that without expecting anything in return. That is the kindness, act of kindness randomly done is really, first of all, quietens your mind. First of all, takes away all the chattering from your mind, and also makes you feel good because you have this happy hormone secreting at the time. So it's a very, very important thing. The examples are we can see Mother Teresa, for example, right? She was always doing some service to the kids, and then she saw her God in that kid, and she was taking that and nurturing it as though she was doing it. This is very, very famous, very, very available to all cultures, where they say, I'm going to worship the Lord I see in that human being. So they call that not the stationary God in a church or in a temple or in a mosque or anything like that, but it's the moving gods are so many. Everybody has that divinity within. That kind of attitude also breeds kindness, very much so. And the extreme for that is if you go and say, "Oh, I'm such a nice guy, I'm compassionate, I can be kind and all that," then somebody, some sage showed them, "Hey, who are you showing kindness? You think you become great because that's the ego talking." But if you look at it, there's the divinity there, and that divinity gave you an opportunity to serve it. So that way, you should be grateful for that. That kind of thing. But even if you cannot do all that, just extend your helpful hand to somebody who needs something, right? And if you can extend that, it will be good for you and for the atmosphere, for you also. This is what happens in servant leadership, which I kind of teach for the IT executives and the company leaders who come to talk to me about these kind of things. How can you be a better bureaucrat? How can you be a better leader? How can you motivate other people? These kind of questions come to me, right? Then I usually tell them, well, become a servant leader. What does it mean being a servant leader? Servant leader means it's not like in America, I provide service, you pay me. That's not it. It is kind of what are the inner needs, emotional needs, or whatever needs they have within. How can they be priority compared to my needs? So a servant leader attends to the needs of others first, and then even if they cost him something, he will give it. Okay. So this servant leadership is marked by kindness to workers, to colleagues, to management, to investors, to any of those people that are coming in. Unfortunately, here in America, everything has become transactional. That means you give me something, then I will give you more. Okay. Whereas if you really look at it, it's an opportunity to serve somebody's needs that becomes the servant leadership. So what I'm talking about is the let yourself be humane, let yourself be feeling the. Hello, Prasad. Hello, Anderson. Nice seeing you here. So I'm talking about seven stress-free things that we can do every day that are easy for us to do. Doesn't cost any money, doesn't cost any pills or anything. If you have missed it, I started with being in the present as the number one. Deep breathing is the second, and then don't react but respond is the third one. Being silent in the morning, in the evening, every day is the fourth one. And then today I'm talking about kindness, and tomorrow I'll talk about gratitude, and then last one will be being positive and being working for others later on. So if you want to come up and engage me, I'll be happy to. Hi Prasad, how are you?
Hello, Dr. Rao. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. Okay. How are you?
I'm good. No, I was just asking, you know, if we have to decide not to talk, then we should be on the clubhouse at those times, right? Or just take the listeners. Kind of.
I love to engage people because I don't like talking all the time, even though I do communicate, but I like to hear other people. What do you think about what I'm talking about?
No, it's pretty good actually, very useful.
Yeah.
One thing is, it was in the Western world, now it's spreading across.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Now, East and West, I don't think it's anything different from persons.
You're
In
right.
fact, in the East, they're even more stressed than
Yeah,
the people in the West.
exactly. That's why I don't say
US
East
is,
and West anymore, Prasad. I say modern, ancient. you know.
yeah, yeah. I just wish we can, if we all can be like Japanese or Okinawa or that kind of a province.
No, no, even Japan also, the modernity has affected them. And then if you really go to the cities, one of my nephew is there studying, right? They have the same suicidal tension, all these stressful things are there because traditional man is to work and woman is to stay home and all. Still, there's a lot of it. They have changed a lot too because of the modernity. You know, I don't think modernity is wrong either. But what I'm saying is, let us take the best of the ancients, best of the modern, and combine them so that we can have a life that we can make it, we can do what we want, but at the same time, we can be stress free if you really understand the lifestyles and then change it a little bit. Discard the modernity as it is all bad, but only the weaknesses of the modernity don't adapt. Like for example, I'm being in the present. People are always occupied about past or the future. And I don't say don't forget the past complete. Don't live in the past. Live in the present, which is your life. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, um, I know through time probably you also have experienced that same this, right?
Oh yeah,
Here a long time.
sure, definitely. Because my own like life experience, I'm talking. Yeah.
If a new movie releases in Hollywood, we had to watch it on that Friday.
Oh yeah. First show, yeah.
And they were on the air TV series like whether it's Friends or Seinfeld, something like that, right? We don't have missed it.
Yeah.
That
No,
was just
having fun is okay. Yeah, having fun is okay, but then
latest thing is this social media, right? Which is
yeah,
either LinkedIn, Facebook,
yeah.
all of this.
No, I am on the social media too. I use it for communication with my friends or whoever come in touch with me. And a lot of people are reaching out because they hear this. And even if some people, not everybody, some people reach out to me, I'm happy to work with them. So it's kind of extending our life rather than just living comfort. I can easily comfortably live my life just to shut up and do nothing. But actually, when I come and talk these talks, I really feel happy. So I don't feel like I'm threatened or I feel like I'm neglected or anything. I just come and say what I have to say. Wherever comes, I kind of do it. And then that 1 hour becomes very valuable, you know.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
See, in Clubhouse, I don't get a single twice hour
Yeah.
sent, right? But
Yeah.
I also spend so much time because it gives me some pleasure
Yeah.
because we are talking to real people
Yeah.
in real time.
Exactly. And around the world.
That's why of course, the latest update with all the offline messaging, no, I don't like it at all, and I don't even participate.
Yeah.
I don't want to participate in that.
No, it's like a random message and then they talk about. I don't have that kind of time.
Exactly. It's just like WhatsApp or email. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Yeah.
So I don't know why they're getting into that. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Even in the WhatsApp, we have somebody workers like my team. I recently hired for them to do some videos editing and all that, and I can communicate with them WhatsApp. That is very convenient. But there is a purpose there. There's a meaning. But this is like a leaving message and then expect somebody. No, we need to have a dialogue. We need to know each other and find out what we are, you know. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I like to talk to people one on one most of the time, and that's one thing I like about Clubhouse. Yeah.
Exactly. They had started it great. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somewhere got misled, I guess. I just hope they come back.
Yeah.
Because even the population which was there earlier, it is not there.
No.
Although some people flying,
Yeah.
some are getting lost, but I don't know.
Uh, for me, there used to come at least a few people, 10, 15 people. But now maybe one or two will come. That's good. Great. But then I don't mind those things. I just come talking what I want. Came here. I want to express myself. And if somebody comes, talk to me, and we engage dialogue, well and good. Otherwise, I speak whatever I can and go away. Even 15 minutes, I go away. So, but at least I committed to this and I'm coming every day, you know. So every day somebody comes, Prasad, somebody else, you know. But this kind of follow.
That's very good. I mean,
Yeah.
I like your attitude.
Yeah.
It's not the numbers.
Yeah, it's not numbers.
And today we have what? Ronnie.
Yeah.
Some spelling right.
Yeah.
And there is Anderson too.
Yeah. Maybe somebody may come
That's fine.
later, but it's okay.
There are three people listening to you, right?
Yeah.
That's good enough. Yeah. If you get a message or topic,
Yeah.
it helps one person.
Actually, I don't even look for anything.
Do in a day.
Yeah, I don't. I don't even look for anything. I just deliver. Sometimes people come, some people don't. But then this is the problem. You see, unless you are interested in life and the real truths of life and want to go deeper, these kind of rooms may not, vibe with you. That's okay, but it's up to you. But then whoever comes for a deeper question, they want to take me deeper and deeper. I'm happy to do that with the those rooms really work very well, and they record it too. So if you go and listen to my recordings on a topic, if you want, and a lot of do that, and then they send me messages like 2 weeks ago I did a topic. They send me message about asking question. Then I kind of respond to that. So there is an ongoing conversation going on in some way or other. That's what I see. You know. So that Clubhouse is meeting me. Yeah, people from.
In fact, I heard some people, a lot of people they follow this.
Yeah.
Maybe once in a week or once in a month,
Yeah.
something like that. Totally electronic.
Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
they won't open the laptop, they won't open the mobile.
Yeah.
They stay away from electronics.
Yeah.
They just stay in the nature.
Yeah, and that's also I tell them forest bathing, taking break from this, and being in touch with nature. All those things I talk about. That is a problem too. On the digital side, there is a toxicity because we are only wedded to the digital to this extent we became really addicts to that phone. You cannot take away phone from a kid; he will kill you if you take the phone away from him. So we are doing those things to the kids. So I talk about that. Use the technology, but watch what the side effects that the technology can do for you, and then can make your mind and your body go wrong. The stress also. See, like I talked about, just deep breathe. I teach all these doctors who are burnout or whatever it is. Every 1 hour, stop for 1 minute and take deep breaths and see what kind of effect it makes. For me, I don't have the brain fog because I kind of practice the deep breathing occasionally during the day. In the morning, it becomes okay, half an hour, 45 minutes of pranayama, and also in the day whenever I have chances, like in the car driving, stopping in front of the red light, going in the hospital, climbing stairs, or walking the corridors. So many occasions are there for us to come back to the deep breathing. It's very important because, first of all, it keeps your thoughts going too rapidly, it cuts it down. Okay, that's the relationship yoga teaches you, where it says deep breathing and rapid thinking, they come from the same Shakti. So if you want to cut down the thoughts, deep breathe and they will be going down. Slow down, right? And also you have more oxygen in you, and then you aeration metabolism is much better. There's so many scientific reasons also. And pranayama is extending that life force. That is what it does. They were talking about this morning about elephant, about the whales in the sea. They live long because this breathing rate is very, very low. I say whale comes out once in 10 days to excrete all the air. So it breathes one breath every 10 days. I was fascinated when I heard that. you know See, one of the real reason shallow breathing is people get anxious. The more anxious they get, the more shallower they will be breathing. So they kind of, when they are shallow breathing, they're rapidly breathing, they pump out a lot of carbon dioxide, and that's not good. If they can really retain that, then they will be better off. That's called hyperventilation syndrome. We see that with the patients all the time. You know.
Dr. G, when you're giving this last segment,
Yeah.
when you're talking of this, I
Yeah.
did 10 deep breaths.
Very good. Very good. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I do.
Yeah. No, that's what it is. Once you get used to that, then whenever you have the opportunity, like you're in a meeting also, you're not talking, somebody else talking, you can listen to them, at the same time practice the deep breathing. See, what happens is the lungs go down with the deep breathing, the potential alveolar space opens up. The longer you do that, the more alveolar spaces will be opened up, so that more oxygen will be carried into you and more carbon dioxide will carry out of you by recruiting all the alveolar surface. So this is something very, very simple. Otherwise, we can keep the shallow breathing, then lungs don't expand all the way down. Diaphragm won't come down. That's why there's so much scientific data also about deep breathing. Is a really important thing in the yoga practice. Like my wellness club yoga practice, I kind of align deep breathing with the stretch. Like, for example, if I tell them, okay, Tadasana, this is like a standing posture, and then I tell them, okay, keep your feet together, pick up your kneecaps, pick up your butt, tuck in the abdomen, and then start deep breathing, and then coordinate that like 4 or 5 breaths or 3 breaths. Then they do that. It's a much better way of doing the asana rather than not doing with the alignment with the breath. So much changes there. I'm glad you did that, Prasad. Very good.
No, very true. In fact, I have a gym membership,
Yeah.
but I don't do much workouts. My children do well. I go for one yoga class, at least every Sunday.
Yeah.
In Yen yoga or in yoga.
Yin yoga, yeah.
Yeah. There it is very similar. It's not about fast movements.
No.
It's not like aerobics or anything.
Yeah.
But
It's a slow,
it's about
deliberate,
breathing.
yeah.
Slow
Yeah.
breathing. while you also
Yeah,
stretch your hips, shoulders,
yeah.
that kind of things.
I have devised one thing like that, Prasad. It's called head to toe yoga in 5 to 10 minutes, where you go from each joint, from the toes all the way to the crown. But then each joint you do that, you kind of coordinate with the breathing. Okay, and that kind of members of all. Then you can do individual asanas and all that. There's so many ways you can. In is Chinese word, the empowering, yielding, at the same time empowering energy, right? There's a female energy. So you want to be heartful, you want to be intuitive, you want to be more aware of what is going on in body. That is all in yoga. So what it is when you are really doing an asana, be aware of the stretch, how limiting it is, or is it painful? If it's painful, stop it, come back. Then you will be more aware in your mind and aligning the mind, aligning the breath, aligning the stretch. Then you get a better stretch each time you do. You don't have to press it, it will come. Hi, Alka, welcome. So, whatever you do, the yogasanas, be two words I use, Prasad: be aware, be aligned. Awareness and alignment. Alignment with what? Alignment with the one half to the other half, and alignment with your breath, and alignment, your mind being here and now.
Very true, very true. That
Yeah.
like I also Vipassana.
Past, yeah.
It's one of the really great things, but very hard to keep it up, right?
Vipassana is like a band-aid in meditation
Yeah, it's
practice.
an
Yeah.
hour meditation.
Yeah, it's like a band-aid. It's not like a it's the initial thing, but you can advance from it very easily once what is true meditation is, and then once you understand that, then you can go much deeper. Like one of the things I always talk about is this blissfulness. When you go into the extent of deep meditations, all that, but what first comes to you is your mind stops chattering. Then you have the peace, and also along with that, a feeling of exhilaration, like bliss. It's not pleasure, it's not happiness in that sense as you get something you'll be happy, not that. It's like a ebbing up of joy that comes from within you. Once you are used to that, then you know why these deeper practice as a human being are really advantageous for us, and then we are privileged as human beings to experience. Vipassana is like it is the initial thing of the Buddhist meditation where you kind of breathe and then be aware of that. But normally also you should be aware of the breathing. What kind of breathing are you doing? Are you shallow breathing or deep breathing? You should be aware of it, not one time, all the time. And then Vipassana leads to, okay, first all the concept thoughts will come to one because you're doing the focus on the breath and all that. And then you'll be watching whatever thoughts come up you. And later on, the thoughts slow down. Then you can go to one thought and remain with your one thought. And then you go beyond the one thought, then you go into the samadhi. That is when you experience this bliss, and that's why you don't need everybody's praise, everybody's approval. You're happy within yourself. Probably, maybe that's why I'm happy just to come and talk and go.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because we are spending so much time for others,
Yeah.
what others are saying, doing, anything else outside of us, but we don't look at our own body.
Yeah.
How much time we are giving it for each of our toes,
Yeah.
each of our fingers in the hand,
Yeah.
or our shoulders, ears, whatever it is, right?
And yoga talked about this.
Like in Vipassana,
Uh,
where they make you observe each of your
yeah.
your own body.
No, no, no. In yoga,
While also breathing.
it's called swa adhyaya. That means study yourself. all the body and go within what is happening with your thought, what is happening with your feelings, what is happening with your memories, tendencies. See, what happens in the real meditation is all the tendencies, all the vasanas, all the past memories and all that, they kind of boil up and go away so that they won't you won't come back to them again and again unconsciously. Whatever you do, it will be conscious thought. So all these you are talking about are very preliminary. That's good. But then, what is behind that? The swadhyaya, which is very good. What you described about being aware of what is happening in your body, and then not owning the body, but knowing I'm not just the body. That's where the thing comes up. There is a simple mantra that they say: Deham, Naham, Koham, Soham. They means body and the mind. Mind is also considered as a part of the body. Body and the mind complex. I am not Naham. Koham is then who am I? Soham. Soham, there are two words. Aham, Sa. Aham is my individual self. Sa is that ultimate self. Universal self is everybody has it. And once you recognize that, then you are in real yoga. But then you have to be aware of your body, you have to be aware of your thoughts, you have to be aware of what's going on, and you have to be aware of your behavior when you are dealing with somebody else. All that is called swadhyaya. That comes up when you go to the life and expose yourself to the stimuli of life and study yourself in the relationship of that event. Then you get it. Anyway, we were talking seven stress-free things today. Alka, we were talking about kindness. How can you be kind? And then I think Prasad came and he threw some things at me, so I had to respond. I'm very glad Prasad brought those PowerPoints too. But it's a very good thing. Yeah? So, like for example, he has the gym membership and his kids use it. He doesn't use it. You should be aware of that. Why the membership is not there? Then you will be able to go there at least once in a while. You know, I'm glad you're doing other things, Prasad. So the vipassana is good to start with, and then the yoga prior. In yoga is a very good thing. In yoga is supposed to lessen your yang side of things. What is the yang side of things? This violence, this aggressiveness, this I have to be fast. Let me get everything. That kind of male energy that is sublimated and then in energy is brought out. Basically, mind is rested and heart comes out. The heartfulness. In that Gayatri mantra, is a very famous mantra. There is a one word called uh, uh, the whole thing comes to only two words then. One is putting my mind in my heart. That means not allowing the mind, like in the modern society, dominate my heart so that all the decisions, everything is done mechanically or transactionally or trying to get something. But when you're heartful, you are giving something. You are accepting people, you are considering people, and then you are pouring out your love and affection. That is the heartfulness, that is the yin yoga. So once you get into that, uh, suppose you are not able to bend and you do violently, you're going to pull your muscles. But in yoga, what it is it allows you to surrender to that and bend only what the body allows you. And then after that, body lends it. Next day, it allows you to go more. That is the yielding and then surrendering and thereby gaining the victory. That is in yoga. I mean, all these terms and everything came because people only on the hatha yoga or maybe some vipassana, some meditation, all that. But the deeper yoga I talk about is much, much deeper. It's about your soul immersing with the universal soul. which is all one. And once you are in there, then the yoga things makes a practice. So like a body is a temple, and in the temple we have the divine self, and go to the divine self, and then the divine self shows you that it is not just yourself, but universal self is in there, and that is reflecting here within you. And once you identify that, then that is a real yoga. A lot of people miss that yoga is about mind, yoga is about this soul connection and all that. They think only body keeping it, which is fine, which I start with the body yoga too. But then I immediately get this perspective, then there is a relevance. Why am I keeping my temple clean or my divine self? You know, is that too much, Prasad? Make sense?
Yeah. It's something to try and experience, I guess.
Yeah, that's the tragedy. What I'm talking about, the moderns and ancients. Ancient have so many treasures that they have discovered. You don't have to belong to any country, religion, or some kind of sect, nothing like that. But just take their wisdom and employ that in modern life. Your modern life will be better, protects you from the weaknesses of the modern life. That's my thing. As a modern doctor, as an informatician, I'm the technology, but I don't think only technology can solve our problems. On the other hand, what are the problems technology breeding, I can easily see. So I'm using all the technology, I can easily take a time off from it on a daily basis. So it's like a consciously doing the technology and not being victim of it. Like in a clubhouse is good. You can meet different people. I think Alka is in UK, and that's good. We were able to talk and we became friends because through this medium. So that kind of good things are good, right? So I'm not in this all the time. Only in the evening I'm coming these days because the rest of the day I'm busy with my stuff. And then in the evening I come just for an hour, and then I talk and then go. Alka, you want to come up and talk about something? I will invite her. Usually midnight for her in UK. Where are you now, Prasad? Bangalore or where are you?
Oh, no, no, I'm in this in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. Where in Arizona?
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Okay. I was there in Phoenix one time for a conference.
Oh, okay.
I came
Oh, okay.
uh, and then I visited the all. Luckily, that was very, very nice weather when we came. They told us there was a conference there. When I came there, actually we were on the next to water park. The whole thing was bring the family and enjoy the water park, and I can go to the conference, same hotel. So
Okay.
it worked out very pretty well. Kids were small at the time. And I came there. Usually when work and pressure like that, so that short vacations, 3 day, kind of maybe I'm busy during the day, but in the evening we used to go to dinner or something like that. And meanwhile, kids can go see the city. My wife will take them.
Right, right.
That kind of thing.
No, this is a nice place to be.
Yeah.
I used to be in East Coast once upon a time, and
Yeah.
it was really hard, with all the snow, shoveling,
Yeah.
6 feet snow on my car in the morning.
Yeah.
Uh,
I still am in Iowa.
Here it is so hot, but I don't have to shovel the heat.
Yeah. But is it with all this warm weather is getting there now?
It was actually it broke all the records from 1974. It was 20 plus days of continuous 110, 24 days and that. We crossed 54 days this year of 110. Yeah.
There is a pranayama practice called Shitali. Okay, about that, and then practice that when it's very hot outside, and see the thirst going down.
Okay.
Sheetali, his name is.
Sheetali.
Sheetali. Kind of take the breath in through the mouth and then breathe out through the nose. But then when you're taking in, that's the way to do it. But you can find out any book, any number of YouTube videos will be there on that. Learn that properly and do that regularly and see how it makes a difference when it is very hot.
Yeah.
Some of these are wonderful things I'm telling. I'm always amazed. The more I kind of know about these things, the more amazed about how their meditative awareness brought all those things.
Right, right.
Yeah.
In fact, like uh, right here in Arizona and Sedona, you might know this.
Sedona, yeah, I know Sedona.
Yeah. Uh, some people even had tried. I mean, probably it's still there. It's called hot yoga.
Hatha yoga. No, hatha yoga is just a physical heart yoga. As people,
No, 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 no.
uh,
It's not the yoga. They're putting them in very hot
yeah,
balls.
heart
Something like
yoga,
that.
heart yoga. They call it after deliberately increase the temperature and do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, some people even died, and
yeah,
one
yeah.
one of them is like had the balls to go.
That is that Ghosh. Who is that Rabindra Ghosh? Somebody was there. He was kind of made it a business and all that, and then he was involved in some controversies and all. I don't
Yeah,
personally, as a physician, as a yoga practitioner, go for me. That's like a um, fad, more like a not really advisable. So I don't recommend hot yoga. One
right.
of my
I mean, those are the extremes, right?
yeah extremes, and also that's not really yoga. That's like a fancy thing, making people get to these things and all that. One of my
Right,
friend
right.
is a psychiatrist. His daughter does this heart yoga. So I told her, don't do that, switch back to normal yoga she is doing fine, and she is doing that. See, this is the problem with not what is the real yoga, and then all these offshoots come. People may say we will practice whatever, fine, but the thing is, if you know the truth and if you understand what is really the original thing, is much better. Actually, it gives you
Right.
control over your mind, it controls your body, and also, like for example, I'm 70 now, right? I don't take any medications because I do practice yoga every day. So uh, there is what's called kaya kalpa. Kaya means body, physical body, right? Kalpa means cultivating it. There are ways to cultivate body such way that you can elevate your energy, and also you can control your digestion and all those things too. So even the energy also very important. So there's a lot of things about that, but that heart yoga is something physically is not right. Poor people, they believe and then do it. So,
Right. I mean, it's more of commercial, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing in the
yeah,
West.
yeah,
Whatever the good thing someone is trying
yeah,
to kind of get advantage of that.
yeah.
That's what we end up having.
That's the problem. You see, the ego manifestation and profit orientation. These two things are from the West, end up now invaded all India for sure. I know, and that's not what is the ancient wisdom advises you. It advises you to be in tune with others and to be in service in others. Because we are all in one energy. And also, outward things do not matter. Like I was telling you about the joy and bliss is there after practicing these things for a while. You don't have to take any external things. I don't even take alcohol or anything like that externally, because you have touched this inner joyfulness that is available for everybody. Only thing is, they have to try it. It cannot be given by me. They have to try and touch it themselves. The practices to that I can teach, but the actual practice you have to do it. You see?
That's the hard part.
Yeah, that's hard part. Yeah, that's where the technology, that's where the civilization, everything influences us. What I am saying is, you can be in this world, but you don't have to be touched by it. You can understand what is the weakness, and you don't have to thinking adopt. See, my teaching is about conscious thought, consciously doing things, being aware, and then doing everything. So bringing the awareness to the front and putting the thought behind, and make use of the thought to do things. Afterwards, keep quiet, be silent. That's not that difficult. The only thing we have to see the value of it and experience by ourselves. You know what they say? The scientist, ethicist, and also yoga. What is the difference between these three guys? A scientist goes after objective evidence, and unless it is free, he won't accept it. So he may do some, experiments, and then other people may try it, and then we say, okay, this is working, we should do it. Whereas technologies has the tools that were developed because of the scientific quest, and then he uses it for external things mostly. And then yogi is somebody who wants to experience by himself, not the other yoga telling him that it doesn't matter. He has to experience, and then only it becomes valid for him. That is the one difficulty you are talking about. People don't want to experience anything within themselves. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Anderson, Alka, Dharni.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, Anderson, welcome.
Yeah, just enjoying the conversation. I think we we went in many directions. I love the topic on kindness. I also love the topic on going to the gym.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm a bit of a gym rat myself, and I wish more people physical activities will,
Yeah.
move their bodies and help with some of the stress that we deal with today.
Exactly.
But it just happens that it's unfortunate the way society's been built. We're stuck behind our desk at home now. We don't even leave the homes.
Exactly.
But I love every time when I jump into your space, Dr. Rao. I absolutely love listening to you, and the fact that you have an amazing way of bringing the East and the West together. Because I think there's some people still skeptical about movement, drink water, sleep. Some people still gravitate towards take the medication. I don't know. Just breathe, just some fresh air, and it's gonna calm your anxiety.
Yeah.
So I love everything that you're saying. I'm a few weeks away from. Actually, I'm a few days away from a half marathon. I have another one in November.
Wonderful.
But I've been practicing a lot of breath work because, as you know, running is very taxing on the body. So
that's
you have to breathe.
Yeah, that's where the understanding this pranayama principles. First of all, what you said, I totally agree. I always say this: move your body, keep the mind silent. That's my central thing. I talk about it all the time. So that's why I say functional. You can do your own body as a tool to take the weight around, and then really help yourself. Like I say, find the opportunities during the work day. Just don't take the elevator. Park the car away from the building, and walk in the corridors, and sit and talk on the phone. Get up and talk on the phone. Like I'm doing this one, standing and face the phone and camera. So move the body, and keep the mind silent. We reversed it in modern. We sit down and enjoy the football games, everything in the sofa, and that's why there are three energies, Anderson, as per yoga. The one energy is called tamas. That is the when you retire, when you sit down, and all that. that lazy energy accumulates, and that's not for our body at all because circulation doesn't happen, and that's why it is not good energy. That accumulates. The more you are bad, more it accumulates. That's why you got to get out and move. You're absolutely right. That's what I tell them. Move the body, but keep the mind silent. We are doing the opposite now, watching the TV and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I read something a while ago. Just everything that you're saying is so spot on.
Yeah.
I read something a while ago that exercise of the body makes the body move faster.
Yeah.
Exercise of the mind makes the mind slow down.
Yeah.
I thought that was profound.
Yeah, that's the information overload because people are not realizing you got to give the mind a break, especially when you go to bed. If you don't go to bed with a kind of empty mind, your body will be tired as it want to go to sleep. But you may have a lot of dreams, a lot of agitation, unless you try to keep your mind quiet before bed. Then few hours that you sleep, it will revitalize your mind and also the body. That's why sleep in a good way is very, very important. Especially nowadays, because I'm an informatician too. So that means I'm in the science of information. I'm a master's in that. So what I've noticed was this information explosion is good in a way, but the way we let it influence us is the bad thing. So suppose you are specialized, be specialized, but you want to gather everything under the sun, and that tires you out. In that way, what you said about the more you expose the mind to something and then continuously allow it, then it becomes really bad. Especially with my patients, I see I see them young people and old people, right? Old people kind of forget what happened in the couple of days last, but they retain what happened 20, 30 years ago because they never allowed their mind to purgate that completely go. So then what happens is, as per yoga, these unconscious thoughts we have or allow this stimuli coming to us, they go and form what are called samskaras. That is like retained thoughts or indentations or neurological pathways that we develop because we think of something, the same thing thought again, it will come out pretty quickly. And they are not good because they occupy so much, they won't allow you to see something true or something. So that's why old people not learn new things because they are not allowing their mind to be childlike again, to be the beginner's mind again. I wrote an article on this, beginner's mind versus sage's mind, in my LinkedIn. Anderson, if you are interested, take a look at that. I think you will like that. So that kind of makes you empty the mind so often so that the mind revitalizes itself. That is when the amyloid material doesn't accumulate and you will have less of the dementia. So you will know the sharpness of the intellect, the creation of new things much easier for that kind of mind, which is really emptying it all the time. I have to do it every day. That's what I tell them every day. But these days, I kind of do it momentary movement. That's also possible. Like I talked to you today. Now, after this is over, I don't have to return all of that. I may know about your name and all that, but I don't remember all this talk we did, right? Because I'm in that other moment, living in that moment. But you got a very good point. Move the body. You see, the the body fluids have to be flowing all the time, right? All the way to the cell biology, where if you don't move, a lot of things won't get excreted. Simple reason. Suppose you are moving the hand and you created a demand for blood supply because of you're working on the hand, then heart will pump the blood to it, right? But then once the blood goes there, it kind of exchanges with the cell, all the toxins will come out and they go to the venous blood, will go to the heart. if you do more of exercise, more demand will be placed. And if you don't have the oxygenated blood, then you have anaerobic metabolism, you have the cramps and all that. As a marathoner, that's what happens when you don't do a proper breathing for your marathon. Experiment with this, Anderson. When you are doing the marathon, cultivate this breathing where you are breathing one time, for example, you are taking the inhalation, but the exhalation extend it to two or three, like this. See, when I'm taking a deep breath, that kind of don't have to do all the time. Once in a while, and see how much, because you pumped out so much the piston goes down so much, you will get more air. You got it? So always exhalation is more than inhalation. Do that 3 4 breaths like that once in a while and see. Actually, I teach this to the runners of games, runners of the athletics, and all those people when they come to the clinic for athletic exam and the school physical. Then I find out what they are doing and I try to teach them like this. It just kick out getting teaching something to the kids.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's just like Prasad was saying earlier. As you were describing it, I just tried to breath
Yeah.
where I breathe in for one count and I breathe out for 2 or 3 counts.
Yeah.
It's a game changer when you're letting out more air than you're letting in.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it is. What happens is walking on the treadmill, for example. I do walk on the treadmill, and when I'm walking on the treadmill, I do this practice once in a while, and I don't experience any cramps no matter how much I extend that. I don't do the marathons and all that because I'm not into that. But walking and getting up and then moving around, that normally I do them. So the energy is there much more when you do this kind of pranayama breathing. So actually, there are so many types. In my wellness club, I do 10 to 15 varieties of breathing just to show my students that there are so many different varieties you can do. For the runners, Anderson, you look up what's called anuloma viloma, right? So this is a very practical. This is an alternate nostril breathing. Okay, it's also called nadi shodhana. But basically, remember that alternate nostril breathing. What happens is physiologically we have a dominant nostril left or right every 90 minutes average. Some people may be 45, some people may be 50. So what it is, you can notice if you block one nostril and breathe in, and then block the other nostril and breathe in, you will notice a difference between the nostrils. By doing this deliberately, this alternate nostril breathing, you open up both nostrils equally so that they breathe better. So try that and let me know how you feel about that. Okay?
Not wrong. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I do all of this even while walking and hiking.
Yeah.
I have done even not the full marathon, but I have done a half marathon with partial walking, partial running. I'm not so fit to really run. I tried it like maybe 4 5 times.
Yeah. It's very well.
When it is easy,
Yeah.
even while walking, I do these breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Uh, including that.
Yeah.
And as well as holding your breath as long as you can. Initially,
Yeah. That is kind of
even the three count was difficult. Then I went to 5, I went to 10, I went to 20.
Yeah.
Now I'm able to do easily 20, 25.
No, you are right, Prasad, because you want to build it up. You don't want to do all of a sudden. Okay, like Anderson knows, Marathon is like a long ground, right? You have to build it up, you have to build it up and all that. So breathing also like that. You cannot have, so like for example, if I take a deep breath and deep breath out, you cannot keep up with me because I have years of practice. So it's a lung is like that. You got to improve the capacity. You have to let it land and improve the capacity. So you got to do daily practice for several months and years. Then it will get better for you. And there's another thing about the marathon is you can really use it as a very good tool of meditation. Do you know that?
You say that again?
When you are running marathon, you can use the actual marathon as a tool for meditation.
Oh yeah, yeah. Such a spiritual journey, Dr. Rao.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
yeah. See, because it is like a, let me put in a simple terms. The smaller self, higher self, right? The smaller self is something that we are given a name, like I'm a Dr. Rao, I'm this personality, I have these tendencies, I have likes and dislikes, I have limitations, and I cannot run this much more. That kind of comes on all the way telling, hey, understand, this is enough, you have done enough today, come on, rest up. That voice, that kind of obstruction that's coming up in so many, like a painful calves or crampy muscles or depleted energy or reeling, all those things will come up. How you pull up? This is a very important psychosomatic thing I'm telling you. What it is the inner self, the higher self, is completely separate in the sense it gives you the life, it animates the body and the mind. But by itself, it's not dependent on. It's like a screen of a movie. The movie plays on the screen, but the screen, without the screen, movie may not be seen. But without the movie, the screen will be okay. With the movie, also the screen okay. So you got to establish yourself in that higher self. That is the yoga I'm talking about. Then what happens is the inner purity is quiet. Also, it's not affected by it. It is the ego that kind of gets all these things. So you understand that and you transcend ego. You cannot overcome ego, you transcend ego. Then what happens? You are really going beyond the capacity that you normally think. You got it? Or is it too difficult?
No, it's absolutely perfect. I've come across I think it was a movie that was done a few years ago called the Transcendent 3100, where these runners they do 3100 miles.
Yeah.
And at some point it stops becoming, well, it's still a physical exertion.
Yeah.
But then at some point they tell you it's all in your head.
Yeah.
I feel like at some point it becomes in your heart.
Yeah.
And then once you can get past that, it's in your spirit.
Yeah.
And so funny story. Actually, I don't want to hog up the mic, but funny story. I ran Boston Marathon last year with no music.
Yeah.
And the sound of thousands of speakers hitting the pavement, so meditative.
Yeah.
It put me in a I want to say in a trance state, but
yeah.
I know that is kind of a big word for stuff.
No. It is a mantra yoga. Cool. I understand what you're talking about is mantra yoga. What it is they give you a word or something to repeat, and you only repeat that. In this case, your sneaker noise. That's good. You're focusing on something that's coming at you. But these people generate the sound, and that sound, dhyate mananam mantra. That one continuously repeats the same word. It kind of fills your mind such that it doesn't allow anything else to come. Like the noise of the sneakers, not allowing anything come, and you're focused on only one thought. And the next thing you have to do is go beyond that thought. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just want to tell you that. Okay.
No. It's beautiful the way you describe. Actually, it's it just kind of feels like music the way you describe it, because yeah, the sound of the sneakers, the rhythm,
Yeah,
and that repeated rhythm is what my brain gets conditioned to, and it stops seeking music, it stops seeking distraction.
yes,
It just finds presence in the moment, in the now.
exactly.
And I never really used to feel that way when I run, because when I'm running, I used to think, get it over with,
Yeah,
or it hurts so much,
yeah,
or I hate running, or messages like that which are in your head.
yes,
When you start removing those messages and replacing them with other
exactly.
sound,
You are in flow.
it's
Anderson, you
yeah,
are in flow. That's why you don't feel that. You enjoy that too. And you are in the moment. And this is not evading all the past or the future. It's not even there. You are in the momentary moment awareness. That means mind is silent. That is the flow state. You can bring it to the work also. That's why I say attend to everything. Attention to every action through the day and see how the work transforms. I mean, as a marathoner, you were able to do that in the act of that. But the same thing can be brought to the regular life and do everything like in flow. And that's what I call ever renewing energy. So you're not depleted energy, you are ever renew. All the time you're renewing the energy. See, before it's like a talk. This is enough. I have done enough. I have the cramps and all that. But now you don't have those thoughts at all. You are only focused or completely immersed in what you are running and you are enjoying, and you are really immersed in that enjoyment of the moment, and that is the moment awareness, not with any thought.
yeah. That's essentially
Yeah,
what this movie was about, the Transcendent
yeah,
3100, because it talked about the joy of expending energy.
yeah.
So much of the time we think that it's painful to expend energy, but it's actually really beautiful to consume all of this stuff, but also to feel your body spending it and exerting it in heat and in kinetic energy and all of that. It's quite beautiful.
Do you teach you something that you can enhance your marathon enjoyment?
Please do. I have a half marathon this weekend, so please
Yeah.
do.
It has got to do what you do before you sleep. Okay? All that you have done with a marathon, during the day, with the body, with the mind, whatever, right? That happened after the marathon, whatever happened, all that. You wash that off before you go to sleep. How you do that is you're going to retire at 10 o'clock, for example. Take at least 1.5 hours unwind yourself. That involves progressive relaxation of the body and also really looking at all the emotional reactions you had during the experience and wash them off because they are already done. Put them on the table next door and also put your own self, your own identifications on the shelf that you are Anderson, that you are marathoner, whatever, because you can pick them up tomorrow, but for night they don't have to be there. That means you are enhancing the deep sleep by not having all these burdens, by consciously trying to remove them before you go to bed. Then, when you are really lost, your ego, your conscious self, and all that, the body and mind are worked upon by your own inner intelligence that cleans up everything. The more you all the thoughts, they will be there. So this is what I'm asking you to do. Before you go to bed, unwind. And especially the mind things, review all the things that are there within your purview of your conscience, and then wash them off and put them aside for the night. You can pick them up tomorrow. You can pick up that you're Anderson, you're a marathoner, all your memories you can pick up tomorrow. It's a very hard thing to do, but this is if you do that, it is completely different energy. I wake up with that. I know what I'm talking about. But everybody has to do it by themselves. It's not going to come because I'm going to be. I can indicate what you can do, but you have to do it.
Wow. I'm gonna try that tonight. It sounds very difficult to do actually.
Yeah,
But I'm
it's
gonna try
difficult.
that.
Don't worry about it. It's difficult in the beginning, but you get into the habit of it as you do daily. Because the mind is so cluttered now, it looks very difficult now. But the very effort that you do it, it will enhance your thing. Within a week, you will get it if you do it every day. Remember all the steps. Prepare for the sleep, unwind your body with a progressive relaxation. Usually it takes like a 1 hour, 1.5 hour. And then last 5, 10, 15 minutes, you cater to what am I sleeping on? Am I fighting with my wife? Am I fighting with my colleagues? Am I retaining something that happened this morning? Somebody insulted me. I kind of felt bad. I'm still remember it. I still see it from it. That kind of thing I'm talking about. Many people may not even remember it, but it goes into your mind and stays there. That's why allowing this time of unwinding allows you to get the deeper parts of yourself. You don't need a therapist or anything like that. You just be aware of it and then let it go. Because that happened this morning. That's over, right? Let it go. And then, at least for tonight, okay, I can take it out tomorrow. One practical thing you can do is what are the trivialities I'm really working about? I'm really, concerned about. Then dump the realities. That is easy to do. But then if something important, something really career, loving people, or anybody, anything like that, write them on the paper and put them out of your mind on the table. You can pick them up tomorrow, the routines or anything like that. That will make it a little bit easier to unclutter your mind. See, two things I'm doing: progressive relaxation of the body parts, and then second thing is uncluttering your mind. Try that for a week and tell me what the effect is. Then I will tell you what are the problems that have come, and then I can tell you the solutions for that.
Thank you so much. I will. This is perfect timing because I have a half marathon on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I have tangible feedback for you on Monday next week.
Sure. You'll have some results, but then don't be discouraged about not having to. Just make it a habit and do it over the years, then it will be better for you.
Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate you.
Sure, Anderson. Okay, so now I think we will take leave now. It's already over 10 minutes. And I'm so happy that you made me talk about some things here. Maybe somebody else will use it too. Okay, Prasad, I will. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm gonna say I really enjoyed it. It sounds like the topic today was on kindness, and I was gonna say it's so easy for us to be kind to others than to be kind to ourselves.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, I came across this concept of self-compassion.
Yeah.
The woman, her name is Kristen Neff.
Yeah.
And she's done extensive research on this topic. And one of the elements of self-compassion is actually kindness. And because I have a Christian faith growing up, I learned kindness. But the thing that I learned about kindness was to be kind to others.
Yeah.
Give first.
Exactly.
And then you get into the corporate world, and then they tell you leaders eat last. You're always waiting. It's my turn.
Yeah.
And so I never really learned how to be kind to ourselves. And everything that you're saying, like from eliminating the excess thoughts to having a nice bedtime routine, that's all part of kindness to yourself, And I really enjoyed that part. I picked up on it when I was listening in the lounge, and I think Prasad was talking about how he was going to the gym as a way to be kind to himself and doing yoga and all of that.
Yeah.
All of those things, taking a shower, self-care, breathing, we come into this world, the first thing we do is breathe.
Yeah.
But if we're in a corporate space, you're in meetings, you're probably talking all day, your breath is constantly disrupted. How often do you stop and say, where's my original breath? Like some of the stuff that you've just shown me is breathing in one nostril and in the other nostril. A lot of times we're unconscious about what's going on in our body, so we are breathing wrong for the most of the day and for the most of the week and for the most of the year. Yeah.
That's right.
And just having that moment of pause where we can give back to ourselves that kindness, which is our breath, is so important. So
actually understand the kindness that you feel within yourself comes out other people, actually enhances the kindness within you. That's the secret. That's why you don't have to be so impatient with yourself as things go on. Study, self-study, that is swadhyaya. Study means be aware of it. You don't have to jump to conclusions, say, oh, I'm so bad, I'm not doing it. No, not that. Just be aware of it. And then just being aware of it, the change will come. So more important is what is going on within us and outside of us with awareness, not analysis, not thinking and all that. Once you're aware, the awareness itself brings out the change. If I'm kind to myself, or if I feel kindness within myself, that's why I said it's a simple thing that you practice every day. You deliberately feel kindness, you will see that you are growing that element of kindness within you more. And then that comes out. Like, for example, you guys are asking me questions. I felt like I had to share this. There was nothing behind that, just to share it, and maybe it will use. I said something about heart yoga, why it is not good, and we talked about what is the real yoga and all that. But then those are all spirit of giving, right? Giving is really not expecting anything in return. The giving itself becomes the gift. The kindness is much more so there. The more kind in yourself, the more kindness comes to other people. But if you don't have that, cultivate that kindness to other people, automatically it will generate more kindness within you. Anyway, that's good. A very good discussion today. I'm very happy that we were able to share some things. And I will see you again tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Discussion. By the way, Anderson, how old are you? Can you say that again, Prasad? No. How old are you? How old am I? Yeah, you're 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. No, I'm in my 40s. I'm curious as to why you asked. No, the reason is you said you are doing the full marathon, right? Like 27 miles. Yes, sir. 26.2. Yes, sir. Exactly. Almost 27, right? That's beautiful. I'm not done that. I really appreciate that. I was really done like half marathons. I want to do it at some point. I heard you saying like you did the Boston Marathon last year. Yes, sir. Amazing. A few years back, there was a bad incident happened there, but there were so many people. Like, these are the nice folks I love about. I also organize from my company in Phoenix. American Heart Association conducts what is known as Phoenix Marathon, not marathon, hard walk. I drive people towards it. It's something that I learned about like last 5-6 years I've been doing. I wish I can go and do the marathon at one point. In fact, I did have a big. This is another thing, right, Dr. G. I had a huge problem myself, right? Like height, I couldn't take it. I had a kind of a phobia, right? When I get into, even if I climb like 6 feet, I used to get scared. My daughter turned 21 a couple of years back, and then she said, "Dad, for my birthday, I don't need any other gadgets or no other gifts, but I want to go for a skydiving. I want you to come with me." I was 50 years old then. Okay. And we did that together. uh, we did the skydiving. Since then, like, I don't have it for me. Like, I thought like I had like once I did the skydiving. No, now I'm not scared of height anymore. I can do anything. Many times, of course, she has done it like 5 or 6 times. She's trying to get a certification at a point. She can do it. Not the tentative. So this is not body, right? We think we can't do something, but when you try it out, yes, we can do it. Age just doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter.
Prasad,
Thank you.
Prasad, this is the inner realm that the ancients found out a lot of things with their intuitive awareness. For example, fear. If you really are aware of the fear, you won't the fear. You'll be out of the fear. So they were very aware of what's going on, not only in their body but also in their mind. And as a physician, when I studied dementia and also the minds of the meditative people, I mean, there's a lot of science in there. Then most of the now the learning everything related to information, lot of data, but not real insights into the real thing, what happens. Your experience taught you that you faced that heights and then your fear is gone. That means you are aware of it, and that way it was able to overcome that. Those insights are there in the ancient wisdom about mind, about our intelligence, about our heart and all, which are very, very useful. I'm telling you only bits and pieces of that, but actually, to be aware of that is a blessing. To be aware of that ancient wisdom. Anyway, we'll talk about all this later. Maybe Anderson will do a room for fear itself, or we will do a inner objections that arise when we do anything. Like you guys are talking about that, right? And we will do a room on that. Yeah, we'll do that one day. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know that you're preparing to close out the room, Dr. Rao. Everything that Prasad saying makes perfect sense, and I think it's perfect for another room.
Yeah.
All of facing your fear, facing that alter ego. The moment you face your fear, the moment you name it, all of a sudden you stop becoming afraid of it. So I feel like we should do a room on that. Thank you so much, Dr. Rao.
Tomorrow I have to complete this series, the 7 things I'm talking about. Tomorrow I'll talk about grateful. How can we celebrate the um, the treasures that we have on a daily basis. So I will talk about that tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Okay. Bye.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much.
Okay.
Dr. G, I wanted to mention something which I forgot.
Yeah.
A couple of days back, I'm sure you know what Nimans.
Yeah.
What mental health organization in India.
Yeah.
One of the practitioners there, he was speaking, and then it was so useful. He talked about 3 things. What one is, first is a disappointment. The disappointment can be with their work, life, or could be anything. That disappointment leads to second D, which is called depression. And the third D is reading. So they had to be treated much. Some people might just need counseling. Some people might need some medication. Some isn't. I know throughout the world there was so. I mean, this came like from a month back. There was a discussion on suicides, anti-suicide campaign, right? One of these, they need help.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big problem, really. All the suicides and depressions. All there is something we will talk about it later on. It's called there is there a mind, and what is that mind that we cultivate? How it is cultivating all these depressions and all that. See, the thoughts, negative thoughts leading to depression, to suicide. That's a structure. So there's a whole lot of structure about the mind itself, and then we come to the end of it. There's really no mind, only thoughts, either negative or positive. And then a lot of stimuli come and then give this negativity to the kids also. There is a study recently done from 2014 to 2018. That's when real smartphone came and a lot of kids got it and all that, right? The suicide rate among the teenage girls in the USA has gone up to 189% during that time. And that is related exactly to what they are seeing on the Instagram and all that. Right? So, understanding what is the stimuli, how our mind responds with the thoughts make our own mind like limited, and then how we get caught in that and we don't come out. All that is explained yogic science of actually yoga is for the mind. A lot of people don't understand, but that is what I'm going to present next time when we talk about these things. Okay. Uh, all right, very good. We come out a lot of things. We can talk about a lot of topics too down the line. And I will seeing you tomorrow with grateful. How can you be grateful? How can even if you don't have anything, we can have ways to do gratefulness within ourselves. That's what I want to intend to show tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, that will be great. In fact, I even heard from some people like, first thing when you wake up in the morning, or before you go to bed, write down whom you are grateful for on that day. Something like that. So let's start. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.